near the other person. Maybe you're a customer in a shop, and you're pointing to something that's near the shopkeeper. Okay, so let's say Avery's the shopkeeper, and I'm the customer, and so I'm pointing at something near him and asking, それはいくらですか? And this is sort of assuming that he and I both know which sale item I'm pointing at, because I'm not actually mentioning a noun, right? I'm just saying, how much is that thing? So he's probably only got one item for sale near him, so that way it's clear which one I'm pointing at, right? If he were standing surrounded by 50 different things that were all different price items, then he wouldn't have a clue which one I meant, would he? Because I didn't actually explicitly state it. Make sense? So, それはいくらですか? It works great if it's very clear which item you're pointing at near the other person. Okay? So, for example, let's say you and a friend are in a shop together, and your friend holds something up and says, hey, look at this is so cool. And then you're curious, yeah, but is it expensive? So you ask your friend, それはいくらですか? How much is that thing that you're holding? That's another scenario where それはいくらですか could work really well, right? Okay, let's look at this next one now. あの喫茶店は元気です. Okay, the textbook doesn't really make this clear, so I'm going to explicitly explain it. Genki and nigiyaka both have similar meanings, but actually, wait a minute. Is Genki even in this chapter? No.
It's the title of the book.
It's the title of the book. Yes, it is. It actually gets introduced in a later chapter as an actual vocabulary word. Unless Genki is the name of the kissaten, the reason that doesn't really work very well is Genki usually is used to describe humans or animals, living things. Okay?
What does it mean?
It means energetic or healthy, but it's energetic in the sense of like my 3-year-old who can't sit still, not in the sense of like a restaurant that has a lot of stuff going on. There's a different word, nigiyaka, that actually gets used to indicate like a place that's really lively, like, you know, that joint is jumping, you know, that concept of, you know, lots of stuff going on, happy, exciting, lots of activity, lots of fun activities, whatever. That description for a place, a kissaten or a city or whatever, would be nigiyaka. But if you're talking about an individual person or like a hyperactive puppy, you know, that's Genki. Okay.
Why did they name the book Genki though?
Good question. I'm not sure why they don't introduce it as a vocabulary word sooner, since it's the title of your book. You would think they would have that like in the greetings chapter or something, because o genki desu ka is a greeting. It's like asking, are you well? And the answer would be either hai genki desu, which is yes, I'm fine, or some variation. Usually you don't hear people saying, no, I'm terrible in Japanese. You know. Yeah. But yeah, honestly, it strikes me as weird that they didn't just include o genki desu ka? Hai genki desu in your greetings section, because it is the title of the book, and that's a common greeting. So, oh well. So anyway, so your other suggestion, your other thought was to use takai desu in that place, Anokiseten wa takai desu, which kind of works if you're saying it's an expensive coffee shop. But I think even takai is usually more likely to be applied to like an individual item that's expensive rather than a blanket statement. But I think grammatically it does work, so it's possible that it could get used that way. So takai desu works a little bit better than genki desu there. Okay. Here we go. Sono hon wa ikura desu ka? So that book near the person I'm speaking to costs how much? Right? That's what it's asking. Okay, and then これは自転車です means this thing here that I'm standing next to is a bicycle, right? 自転車です Okay. Oh, and by the way, in case you were wondering, sidelining is the equivalent of underlining when you're dealing with vertical Japanese text. So, yeah, and it is this side because the print goes from this direction, so this is the equivalent of an underline. Okay, so let's keep going. それはペンです Okay, what's a little funky about the way this was written? Anybody see it? Yeah, the is not katakana. The pet is both, right? But since it's a word from English, you know, pen or boru pen comes from English, so you're supposed to write it in katakana. Okay, so you don't have to change the pet because it's the same in both, right? But the should be in katakana. And that's a common error when you first start learning katakana, that you just kind of forget to put it in katakana. So, それはペンです That thing over there is a pen. あのノートはあそこです That works. So that notebook is over there. Okay, which sounds a little redundant unless, let's say, you and your friend are talking about a notebook that has gone missing or something, and then your friend says, oh, it's over there. The one that we've been talking about is over there, because ano can also get used to reference things that are out of sight, but that you're discussing in a conversation. So even if you can't see it and you're not physically pointing at it or anything like that, if you're just imagining that notebook that I used to have, ano noto, okay? And then your friend's like, oh, I've seen that notebook around here. Ah, ano noto wa asoko desu. There it is, it's way over there. See, hiding under that jacket. That's why you couldn't find it. Okay, sounds like my house. Okay, so, okay, now we have one that's a little bit confusing, so we're going to do a rewrite. Okay, so, ano wa kutsu 3,500 yen desu. Okay, so I think what this person wanted to say was that those shoes over there are 3,500 yen, right? So what do we need to do to fix it so it actually tracks the grammar structure? Okay. Okay. So what? Kutsu is the right word. Ano is good, but what's between them that doesn't belong between a no ending and a noun?
The particle wa.
The particle wa, and where does the particle wa need to be instead? After the kutsu, yes. So I'm going to stick it in here. Ano kutsu wa 3,500 yen desu. Does that make sense? Does everybody know why that's the way it should be?
No.
Okay, let's break it down then. Okay, so what is ano?
I don't understand the difference between ano and kono. I understand between kono and sono, but I don't understand ano.
Okay,
I
well,
was confused about that one.
okay. Kono is near you, right? Sono is near the person you're talking to. Ano is far from both of you.
Okay.
But grammatically, it fills in the same spot in the sentence that the other no ending ones do, versus the de ending ones. So the ones that start the same, like ko, kore, kono, have the same distance relationship to the person speaking. Okay, close, near the listener, or far from both, right?
Mm-hmm.
But the ending is what tells you what kind of grammar location it requires in the sentence. So because it's got a no ending, what does it have to have right after it? A noun. Can it take a particle right after it before the noun? No. It always is going to directly connect to a noun. So ano kutsu. Okay? those shoes. Okay? Or that shoe, because there's no singular or plural here. But if we're talking about shoes, most of the time we're talking about the pair, right? Yeah, again, unless you're dealing with my kids who leave a random shoe in the middle of the floor. Okay, so anokutsu. And then this whole phrase is what within the sentence? That whole phrase is the topic of the sentence, therefore the whole phrase takes the topic marker wa. Okay, so anokutsu wa, right? So anytime you see wa, that's your arrow basically pointing and flashing and saying, look, pay attention, this is the topic of your sentence, right? It's like neon lights saying topic, 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 okay? So anokutsu wa. And then we've got information about those shoes, right? The information that this sentence is providing is the price, 3,500 yen desu, right? So those shoes are 3,500 yen, as opposed to the other shoes on the other side over there, which are 4,500 yen, 4,500, whatever. You know, you get the point? So, anokutsu wa, and then san, then go, haku, and then of course the final piece after the price is going to be the sentence ender des, right? Because otherwise it's incomplete. Because des means is, right? Okay, so anokutsu wa 3,500 yen desu. Okay, those shoes over there, far from both of us, are 3,500 yen. Okay, which is a pretty good price for shoes, in Japan at least, depending on what kind you're getting. Okay, any questions about how that sentence fit together? Makes sense now? Okay, and then the second sentence, これは自転車です. Oh, okay, so two different people standing next to their bicycles.
Oh, yeah.
Right? Just random chance you happen to use the same noun. Okay. Okay. I put a little something missing mark here. What's missing? Can anybody identify what's missing there? The eat sound, right? The eat letter. あれは時計です. Not あれは時計です. I'm not sure what a toke is, but it's not the same as a toke. Okay? A lot of times when you just randomly leave out or change a letter in a Japanese word, it actually ends up meaning something entirely different. So something to be careful of, especially if you're typing, because if you're typing and you accidentally type the wrong thing, and then you accidentally hit the space bar before you hit enter, it'll turn things into kanji. And you might not recognize the kanji it turned it into, and you might think, oh, that's probably the right word, and it's a completely different word, because you misspelled it and you didn't realize it. So you got to be really careful. If you don't want it to just magically turn into kanji in front of your eyes, make sure you hit enter first before you touch the space bar. That's the magic formula for not making it turn into kanji. Okay. それは何ですか? So what's this one doing?
Question.
Yeah, it's asking the question, what is that over there? That near you, right? What is that thing near you? それは何ですか? Didn't we have something like that? Before, oh yeah, we had その本はいくらですか? How much is that book near you? Okay. それはいくらですか? How much is that thing near you? Now we've got, what is that thing near you? Okay. So again, useful question if you're learning new vocabulary words in Japanese. Okay, so this one says, これはペンです. And what's the little thing that needs to be fixed? The n again. Same thing, right? Okay, and just so you know, the sentence "kore wa pen desu" is a little bit of a running joke for anybody who's my generation, because the old English textbooks for Japanese students, their like first full sentence they taught them in English was, "This is a pen." So it's kind of a running joke for people who remember those old English textbooks, which is what I had to teach from when I was teaching over there.
How do you say this is not a pipe?
This is not a pipe.
Yeah, the other one. We have to be
Pipe.
pipe.
Pipe じゃないです。pipe. Pipe. Okay, その時計は高いです。Okay, that watch is expensive. There you go. Okay. あれは肉です。That is meat. Okay, and この本は辞書ですか? Okay, so is this book a dictionary? That's a good one. Yeah, because 辞書 is a more specific term than hon, right? And whenever you use no plus a noun followed by wa, then the thing after the wa is generally giving more information about this topic, right? So if you're talking about books, jisho could be more information about that book, right? That it's not just any old book, it's a dictionary. Make sense? Okay, so does this kind of help to illustrate a little bit how these sentences work? Does that clarify things a little bit? Okay. So do you guys feel like doing the vocab practice is helpful? Do you want to do that again? Okay, I decided to do flashcards this time just because it lets us do them out of order, which I think is more challenging and helpful than just reading straight from the list in the book. So let's go ahead and start with, which means
100.
7,000.
1,000.
right,
So that thing over there.
that thing over there. Right,
Ikura, how much?
right, right.
Ja.
G.
That is,
Is G?
Ja is like well then. In that case, shoes. Right,
Kasa.
right.
Koko. Here.
High school.
No, that would be koko. Koko is here. Okay. Koko wa koko じゃないですね. Here is not a high school.
I got confused with go-go for a second.
Yeah.
Ano, that over there.
Yeah, that whatever it
That
is,
thing,
that noun over there.
Oh, cool. No.
Niku.
Right. Oops.
Yasari.
Side.
Vegetables, something to go with your niku, right? This, whatever noun, yeah.
Sakana.
Right, fish.
Okay.
Watch. Right. Ginko, bank, yeah, and
America.
yes, USA.
Newspaper.
Shinbun, yeah, newspaper.
Jeans.
Jeansuit, right? How many people wearing jeansuit today?
No.
It's too cold out there today.
Yeah,
It's only gonna be 88 today.
only 88.
Only.
That's just a Floridian statement, isn't it?
Correct.
Correct, right? Which means
This thing right here.
this.
Tomo.
Domo,
So it's like,
Like
thank
very.
you.
like very or thank you, yeah.
Dare.
Who, yes, dare is who. 誰? Like, 誰ですか? Who is it? You know, knock, 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 誰ですか? Over there, yes, far from both of us. So, like, トイレはどこですか? Where's the bathroom? あそこです. Right?
Korea.
はい、韓国、Korea.
Economics.
はい、econ. Hi, business. What it sounds like, right? Business. Right?
Got it.
Kare. Curry, as in Indian food. Kare. Yeah, popular in Japan. They've kind of got their own version of it, though. Doa. Door. Right? Model. Anybody remember model?
Oh, that curtain?
There's one
Window.
Window.
window. Yeah. Model. Everybody knows this one now, right? Anybody? There are a bunch of them in this room. You're all sitting in some of them. Hi, isu is a chair. Hi. Please put your books when you're writing or doing homework. Desk, yeah. Tsukue is desk, and table, believe it or not, is teiburu. Katakana.
Really?
Yeah.
I like to make things hard.
Hi, a bag. Yeah.
Soba. Buckwheat noodles.
Yeah, buckwheat noodles, yeah. Has anybody eaten soba? Yeah, yummy yum. Yum yum.
Cola.
Cola.
Coca-Cola.
Yes, as in cola, yes, cola. Right, so Coca-Cola, Pepsi-Cola, like that.
I guess they got that from America because in
Yes.
Canada it's soda.
Yeah.
Salad.
Hi, salad.
So,
Salad, yes. Greens and all that good stuff.
Soda. That thing next to you.
Yeah, that thing near you.
Logo. Where?
Where? There you go.
So. There.
There. This one's the location one because it ends with ko. So it's there, near you. Like, you know, where's Alex? Soko desu. If Andrea asks me, hey, where'd Alex go? I don't know why she doesn't see him, but I could say soko desu.
She's looking this way.
Which, there you go. Like, dono hon desu ka? Which book is it? Okay, so you tell your friend, go get me that book over there, ano hon, and then you get there and wait a minute, there's like 5 books over here. How am I supposed to choose? So, dono hon desu ka? Which one?
Sono.
And then your friend points to the one they mean and says, sono hon desu. That book. Right? Dore, yes. Dore is the other which, as in dore desu ka? Which is it? Kore desu. It's this. Okay, or are desu. It's that way over there. Or sore desu. It's that one near you. Oishii. Delicious. Yes, this is one of the few adjectives they're introducing now. There's a whole slew of adjectives in lesson 5, so we'll get to that at the start of the new semester. Tonkatsu. Pork cutlet, yes. Very good. Nice. Pencil, yes.
Size wallet.
Hi.
So this was the dictionary.
Hi. Iyi desu ne. Okay.
T-shirts.
Yeah. which is
T-shirt.
T-shirts.
No,
notebook, right? Okay, nobody has one of these today. Boshi. Hat, yes, boshi. Toilet.
Toilet.
Yes, toilet as in restroom. So toilet. Toilet wa doko desu ka would be where's the restroom? Yeah, 2000, right? England, Britain, right? Right, history.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Hi, and as in Japanese money. Right? Dozo. Please take this. Here you go. Here, take it.
Oh, dictionary.
That just showed up a minute ago, didn't it?
That must be last
I've got a
semester.
double. Okay, I'll put that one aside.
And pizzas.
That showed up twice too, didn't it? And this one also?
On? I think we have that one.
No, we haven't. Is that the
Okay, you had you show, but Helen didn't show up yet.
Oh, wait, no, it did, yeah, because I went like that.
Okay, so some of these are doubles.
Or
Okay.
all of them on maybe. No.
2 cents. 9 what? Hi.
Okay, I don't like how they write the nano because I kept thinking it's like a different character.
It's just connected.
I
If you
know.
put a little gap there, you can tell what it is,
But I
right?
did it and I missed it.
That's a very common font style.
I'll have to learn it. I love it.
Hi, Rokusen, 6,000. Gosen, 5,000. These are all very important because these numbers are common price tag kind of numbers.
And they break
Gosen is 5,000 yen. That's around 50 bucks. So you can imagine that this kind of a price is going to come up fairly often if you're shopping for, clothing, CDs, other fun stuff like that, right? Right. By the way, the buying power in Japan is not what we're used to. Things are more expensive there. So,
What do you mean?
I mean, like $50 in this country goes further than $50 in Japan.
Here, it goes here.
It goes further here. You
We
can
can
get
get
more for your money in this country. In Japan, things that we take for granted tend to be more expensive there, especially food, because it's an island country and they have to import so much of it. So dairy, meat, stuff like that is more expensive. Fish is sometimes not as expensive, but as North Americans, we tend to eat a lot of meat and a lot of dairy products.
And it's all
those are
stuff
all-
with cheap fillers, so it's cheaper.
Yeah, yeah. So, and fruit is exorbitant in Japan, I'm not sure why.
What's that mean?
Just really, really expensive,
Oh.
yeah. So anyway, so this one is 900, so 700, and then I have to, right?
Go here.
Right, right.
Bicycles.
Bicycle, right?
Niman. 20,000.
There you go, 20,000, Niman, 20,000. Because of that disconnect between the way we say 20,000 and Niman, which is, a different word, instead of saying Jusen, which would be more intuitive to an American. A lot of my classmates and stuff when I was studying in Japan, once we all knew the numbers, we just started talking about prices in Japanese, even if the rest of our sentence was in English. How much did you pay for that? Oh, it was Niman. We were kind of copying the true bilinguals by doing that. There were some Japanese students at my college over there who had been raised part of their lifetime abroad and gone to usually the American or international school where they lived, and then they spoke Japanese at home, and then they came back to Japan again. And so they were true bilinguals. They could switch back and forth between Japanese and English as easy as breathing. And they used to speak in hybrid to each other a lot of the time. Where are you going? Toshikana iku. You know, where are you going? You know, sokudo ni, you know, iku or whatever. You know, somebody would ask the question in one language, they'd answer in another language, or they'd put both like, where are you going? Cafeteria ni iku. I was like, okay, that was English in the middle of your Japanese sentence. That's weird.
I don't even know.
They used to do that all the time. So, Juman would be
90,000.
no,
No. 100,000.
100,000. See, this is where it starts getting really weird, right? Juman sounds like 10 mon,
It
right?
wasn't on our
It
list.
is
It went up to 90,000.
Yeah. Well, I got creative. So Juman is 10 mon, which is 100,000. Make sense?
Yeah.
So that's where it starts to play with your brain a little bit. And so Juichiman would be,
110,000.
yeah, 110,000. Yeah. Juniman,
120,000.
yeah, 120,000. So it starts to play with your brain a little bit, which is why we got lazy and just would say, how much was that thing? Oh, it was 12 mon. You know?
So
Or
the
Junie
money
mon.
ratio is like $1 is like 100 yen.
Yes.
It's like
That's pretty much
10
Very close. It's,
You're counting.
of course, it's an exchange rate, so it fluctuates. But if you think about 100 yen being $1, then that makes the math easy. And I think right now the dollar is stronger than that against the
It's about
yen, so it
25.
gives you a little bit more buying power than you think. So that helps because things in Japan are so expensive generally. So right now is actually a better time to go to Japan as a tourist because your dollar buys a little bit more. Whereas like when I was teaching over there, it was the other way around. And so I was very glad to be getting paid in yen. Because it made things more affordable for me, and then the money that I saved up actually paid for my first year of grad school. Okay, so what's this one? Hachiman. How much?
80,000.
80,000, there you go. There's a few more of these. 60,000, right? 40,000. Kissaten.
Cafe?
Cafe, hi.
Oh, Keshigomo. It's the
Yeah, Keshigomu.
eraser.
Eraser, yeah.
Wakarimashita means,
Wakarimashita ka? Wakarimashita ka? Got it? You understand? Wakarimashita ka? Right. Hi, wakarimashita.
yeah.
Yeah, I got it. I understood you. Right. Wakarimasen. No, I don't understand. Wakarimasen. Hi, yukkuri itte kudasai. Hi, we say it slowly. Okay, if you want the breakdown, yukkuri is slowly. Itte is a form of the verb to say, and kudasai is please. So if you're doing it in Japanese order, it's slowly say please. Okay? Yukkuri itte kudasai. Hi. Hi, kiite kudasai. Kiite kudasai. Please listen, yes. And you'll notice te endings before kudasai all the time. That's a special verb conjugation that is specifically used, not just in this circumstance, but among others. It's a way of connecting a verb to something else. and that we don't get to until lesson 6, but they teach a few set phrases because they're useful. 10ページを見てください. Okay, can you guess what the 10ページ part might be? Page 10, there you go. And if it were page 11, it would be 11ページ. If it's page 56, 56ページ. If it's page 105, 105ページ. Get it? Okay, and then O is the object marker, which we haven't used much yet. And then mite is look, kudasai is please. So please look at whatever page number I just said. So I'm going to start using more of this stuff in class without necessarily translating it for you, just saying it in Japanese. So that's one reason I put these in the flashcard pack. Denki is electricity or electric lights. Denki. These are sticking. Okay, this one is curtain. Curtain. Right. Teishoku is a set menu, they call it, set meal. It's one of those where you don't get to substitute, it comes with certain things, and that's it, no negotiation.
Spaghetti.
Spaghetti, right? Notice it's a small 2 there, spaghetti.
Udon.
And udon is the white noodles. They're like, you know, white flour. They're not rice. I'm pretty sure they're wheat, but they are not whole wheat. They're white flour udon. Sandwich. Hi. And after you eat your sandwich, your mom will let you have ice cream, right? And if you're a college student, you eat a lot of ramen because it's cheap. Right? But you might order at McDonald's. McDonald's, believe it or not.
Oh my gosh, I can't say that.
Kohi wakes you up in the morning, right? Kocha. If you don't like kohi, you might prefer kocha. Tea, yeah, black tea. Juice. Something else to drink instead of kohi or kocha. Miruku. Milk, right? Okay, I'll get that one in a second. Hi, kokuban. Anybody? Kokuban. Kokuban. Well, if this is a kokuban keshi,
It's a blackboard.
yeah, kokuban is the blackboard. Right? And org. This one is kyoshitsu. I could just stick this one up on the wall as a label.
Walls.
No,
Classroom.
it's this classroom. Yeah, classroom. Kyoshitsu. Oh, yeah, I got some more creative. Senman. Any idea?
A million.
Yeah.
There.
Is it? Yeah. Is it a million or is it 10 million? It's 10 million, right?
I don't have a million. What's that million?
Million. No.
Idiot.
So if you're
Music gets to write the number. I don't know.
okay, so that's 10,000, right? Let me show you guys this trick. Let's say, okay, 10,000 you know is mon, right? So if you do ichi, if you do, this one's going to be ju, right? I'll do vertical because it fits better. Then this one's going to be hyaku, right? This one's going to be sen. This one's going to be mon. Okay, I'm going to be consistent and do all of them vertical. Okay, so ichi, ju, hyaku, sen, mon, the place value, right? So if you've got another number here, this one is Juman, right? If you've got another number here, this one is Hyaku again, right? Hyakuman. And if you've got another number here, this is Senman. Okay? So the way you could pronounce a humongous number like this would be to actually read down each column. So 8211万. Okay? If this were a 0, you would read 8201万. Okay? So don't worry about that too much, but for people who wanted to know. So Senman is in fact the 10 million mark. Senman. And if you want to go to 100 million, then you need a new vocabulary word. But unless you're buying a house in Japan, I don't think you need to go that high. Hyakuman, so we figured out Hyakuman was the million mark. Hyakuman is a million. Okay, what's this one? Kyuman would be 9man, which is 90,000. Right. This one, Goman is 50,000. Right. Sanman is 30,000. Right. Ichiman is 10,000. Right. Hassen, 8,000. Right. What's this one? Sanzen, which is 800 is 800, yes. Ropyaku is 600. And one of the main reasons I included all these numbers was to help you guys get the oddball pronunciations, because it takes a while to get comfortable with. Yeah, Sanbyaku. This one always used to drive me nuts because they go from B to P, right? So sometimes it's H, sometimes it's B, sometimes it's P, depending on what it's combining with. If you get confused, remember you've got the chart in the back of your book to help remind yourself which one's which. So this one's Sanbyaku. What's this one? O kudasai. So you can put a noun in here.
So
You're asking for something like, so like, ano pen o kudasai, please give me that pen over there. You know, or sono saifu o kudasai, please hand me that wallet.
Robber.
Right. That would be a very polite robber, wouldn't it? Yeah, that sounds like a Japanese thing, doesn't it? You know, even the robbers are polite. It's like a stereotype of Japan.
Give me your wallet.
You know. Of course, in Japan, even robbers don't usually have guns because it's hard to get guns in Japan. So. Yeah. Oh, onegai shimasu. So this is also, please do something for me or give me something, but onegai shimasu is more likely to be asking for a favor as opposed to just give me that item. So, but I think in the context of this chapter they use them almost interchangeably. What's this one? Irashaimase. Irashaimase, welcome to our store usually. This irashaimase, it's always like, it's the universal greeting anytime you walk into any business establishment that serves customers. Irashaimase. Hai, otou-san, father. And counterpart to that, of course, mother. Okay, so otou-san, oka-san, family terms. Just a few more of these. Computer.
Computer.
Hai. Shugoku. China. Hai. 局 post office はい。図書館
Shokan is the library.
はい、図書館 library はい、menu はい、just what it sounds like, right? Say it one more time, please. はい、もう一度言ってください。もう一度。So the も is like again. 1 is one. ど is time. So one time more or one time again. もう一度。言って is say and ください is please. Does that make sense? So again, one time, say please. もう一度言ってください. You can see how different the grammar structure is compared to English.
ちょっと待ってください。
はい、ちょっと。
Wait up.
Yeah, wait please. ちょっと is a little bit. 待って is wait. And ください is please. ちょっと待ってください. 70,000. はい. So one random number left after everything else. Okay. Any questions about vocab or what we were talking about before? If not, we can get into some actual speaking practice next. Okay. So これは何ですか? So we're on 71ページ. はい、71ページを見てください. Okay. And let's see, I'm going to let Erika-san and Sveta-san do the reading of example 1. The one that says friend and the one that says you. 71ページ. 71. You were close. 71. Hi, there you go. Okay, so you can read the friend for example 1 and Sveta can read the you for example 1.
それは何ですか? これはペンです。
Hi. Okay. And then can you read the second example also? Same pair?
これは何ですか? それはT シャツです。
Hi. So what T-shirts this? Okay, so and you can see in the picture they've got the examples. So the person pointing to the thing near the other person, right? Says, それは何ですか? これはペンです. And then the friend role, これは何ですか? The other person says, それは T シャツです. Does everybody see how the two pair up using これ and それ in answer to one another, right? Okay, so what we're going to do is each person's going to take a turn asking about one of these numbered items, and depending on which item you're talking about, the person asking the question, I want that person to take the role of the you, and the person answering the question, I want to take the role of the friend, and we're going to take turns with, you get to ask a question first, then you get to be the other person and answer. So if you're you and you're asking about number 1, then you're going to start with これ, right? And the person answering is going to use それ. If you're you and you're asking about number 11, you're going to talk about それ, and the first friend person who's answering is going to do これ. Does that make sense? So it's just kind of the luck of the draw, what you get. Okay, so Sveta's going to do the question about number 1, asking what this thing is. Okay, and Sierra's going to answer as the friend who's not as close to the bicycle.
Like
We're not doing it the same way as the textbook is doing it because they're setting it up to be 2 students at a time working instead of a full class activity. But from past experience, it works better if we do going around the room and everybody listen and pay attention to everybody else. And then I can help you if you're stumbling over something. Okay? So Svetha's just going to ask, what is this thing near me? Okay?
It's a little
Or
more
over here.
Yeah.
Right.
これは実
Non desu ka?
これは何ですか
Okay.
それは自車 No. 自
What?
転車
Hi. それは自転車です. Okay, now it's Sierra's turn to be the you, which is the girl picture. Okay, and she's going to ask Alex to tell her about number 2.
これは何ですか
2, so that would be, so I would answer with,
Your answer from the distance, because you're playing the role of the second person
okay,
there.
so number 2, so それは帽子です。
Hi, それは帽子です. Perfect. And now you change roles. Now you're the one labeled you, and Andrea is the one labeled friend. And you're doing number 3.
So これは何ですか
それは鉛筆です。
Hi. Okay, now Andrea is you, and Avery is friend.
これは何ですか
それは傘です。
Hi. Okay. Now Avery is you, and Dylan is friend.
これは何ですか
それは辞書です。
Hi. Okay. Now Dylan and Tatiana.
これは何ですか
それはカバンです。
Hi. Okay. Now, Tatiana, you get to be the first one to change the roles around. So now you are still, you're still you, but you're asking about something in the friend circle. So you're up to number 7 there. And Ethan's going to answer.
それは何ですか
Which one are we on?
You're on number 7, and you're answering as the friend, so it's near you.
Wait, what?
これは財布ですか
Hi, saifu desu. Hi, これは財布です. Okay, now you're going to take the role of the you person, okay, and Jack's going to be the friend, and you're asking him about number 8.
これは何ですか
But 8 is not near you, so it's going to be near him, right?
So that would be sorry.
There you go.
Sorry. Sorry. 何ですか
There you go.
これは本です。
はい、いいですね. Okay, now Jack's going to ask Erica. Emily. Why did I? Sorry, I keep doing that to you. That's not nice. Okay, so Jack's going to ask Emily.
それは何ですか
これはノートです。
Perfect. Okay, unlike me. Okay, Emily is going to ask Sveta about number 10.
それは何ですか
There you go.
これは靴です。
はい、いいですね. And now Sveta's going to ask Sierra about number 11.
それは何ですか
これは時計です。
はい、時計です. Okay, now Sierra and Alex for number 12.
それは何ですか
これは新聞です。
はい、いいですね. Did everybody understand how the sore and kore work together? So whatever you're talking about, if the other person said kore, you're probably going to need to use sore. And if the other person said sore, you're probably going to need to use kore. Right? Make sense? Because it's all relative. It's based on which person the thing is closer to. Make sense? Okay, now we're switching gears a little bit. Part B uses are for all of them. Why?
Talking about buildings.
We're talking about buildings that are over there across the street. Right? When would you use kore or sore for buildings? When could you possibly?
You're not standing right in front of
When you're right in front of them. Okay, so like, let's say you're feeling lost because you can't read kanji yet, and you're standing in front of a building that you can't quite identify, and you ask your friend, これは何ですか? What is this place? And because your friend is just as close to that building as you are, your friend could say, これは郵便局です. It's a post office. You couldn't tell because you couldn't recognize the kanji for yubinkoku. Okay, makes sense? By the way, if you're looking for yubinkoku or a mailbox where you can just stick a letter in, the symbol to look for is that. That's the Japanese universal postal symbol that's on all postal-related things.
Just pretend it's
So-
a mailbox.
Yeah, it kind of looks like a little mailbox thing, huh? And since they're on the sidewalk, public mailboxes don't look anything like what we're used to, that's what you have to look for, because otherwise it just looks like a tall fire plug or something. It's like, I walked right past one probably 5 or 6 times without knowing what it was. I was looking to mail something, and I kept walking past it, not recognizing it because I didn't know what to look for. I was looking for something blue and like an American mailbox. And it was red and about yay big around, like a post, shaped like a post. It looked like a really tall fire hydrant. I'm like, that's a mailbox? And it just has a slot opening in it. It's not a door like we're used to.
Not a box.
So I swear, it took me like 20 minutes to find this darn thing. I kept walking past it not knowing what it was. And finally somebody just kind of walked me over to it and said, this. And I went, really? So,
Is your mail sent?
finally, yeah. That was when I was obviously very new in Japan. After that, I never forgot what one looked like. And later I found out that they come in different shapes and sizes. Not all of them are that tall, skinny post shape. Some of them are squatter and squarer and more like a box shape, but they're still red, and they always have that symbol.
Which makes sense considering ours only ever really have blue as a similarity, and they're just,
Yeah,
they can look like a bin, they can look like a
right.
ball.
Ours aren't all the
But
same
we have
shape
the
either.
eagle-looking thing.
Yeah, we always have the eagle symbol because that's the American,
So-
national bird. And they're always blue because that's an American thing to make things blue. In Japan, blue is not one of their national flag colors. So why would it have been blue? I don't know what I was thinking, right? So it makes sense that it's red,
Yeah.
White field, red dot. What else? What other color would they pick for their mailbox, right? Okay, so anyway, so we're talking about things that are across the street. So let's see, it's Alex's turn to start, and I'm going to have Alex and Andrea read the example for us first.
あれは何ですか?
あれは図書館です。
はい。Okay, so 1番 Andrea-san and Avery-san.
あれは何ですか?
あれは大学です。
はい。Okay, 2番 Avery-san とZenon-san.
あれは何ですか? あれは銀行です。
はい。どうぞ。
あれは何ですか?
あれは郵便局です。
はい. And notice it's got that symbol.
Yeah.
There it is. Okay, Tatiana-san と Isan-san.
あれは何ですか?
Which number is this?
4.
Page 61 is your friend.
Yeah.
Would it be cafe?
Yeah.
Okay, I didn't know if there was a different word for cafe I should look for. あれは喫茶店です。
はい。あれは喫茶店です. Okay. So yeah, I'm not sure why they messed with their translation, went from cafe to coffee shop, but they are, yeah, they are interchangeable to Japanese people. Kissaten means cafe or coffee shop. They don't have like some other unexpected word for it.
It's what it was originally in our
Yeah.
language, so.
Yeah. So-
They, but like if you like what they choose to use like kohi, you said that?
Yeah, but they don't use kohi shopu. No, that doesn't happen. It's always kisaten. Okay, so now Ethan gets to ask Jack. Part C, go ahead and do the example so everybody can hear the kind of idea. If you want to pantomime it and point to, that works.
あれは何ですか Example 1
Okay, so example 1. So part B.
あれは時計です。
はい、あれは時計です. Right? So if we're going to point, we're pointing at the clock up there, right? あれは時計です. Okay, let's see. Let's have Jack and Emily do example 2.
それは何ですか？
これは何です。
はい, いいですね. So he was pointing at something near you and you pointed at something near you also. Perfect. Okay, so now you can just pick something at random that you want to point at and make Sveta come up with the word for it. As long as it's a word we've learned in Japanese in this lesson. Don't pick something that she has no hope for.
これは、いや、これは何ですか。
それはno. それは oh sorry. それは no. Oh, goes to her.
No.
No to this.
はい, no. That's perfect. Okay.
I was there for a second.
Okay, now you're going to do the same thing to Sierra. Ask her anything.
It could be over there.
Yeah, it could be near you, near her, or
それは何ですか?
Uh, それはカバン。
Right, see, it works. Okay, now you get to ask Alex one.
Okay. それは何ですか？
それは それは電話です。
Hi, there you go.
Telephone is then
Yeah, telephone is then one. Remember that from last, that was lesson 1.
Nope.
Okay. Oh,
これは何ですか？
それは財布です。
hi. Okay, Andrea-san.
それは何ですか？
Point to something so we know what we're talking about.
それは何ですか？
You're going to do that book? これはノートです。
Hi, no, that's okay. Avery's turn. Ask Dylan.
あれは何ですか？
あれはドアです。
Doa.
ドアです。
Hi. Okay, and we are kind of out of time, so I know some people have to
I might
leave.
show right here.
Okay, go for it. Last one.
これは何ですか？
それは辞書です。
Hi. Okay. Good one. Okay. So next class we will go on to segment 3. この本はいくらですか? And we're going to start talking about price tags on things. So brush up on numbers. And if you actually do some of the homework ahead of time, you'll be more prepared and feel better about it probably in this class. I'm trying to put these back together. I got a paper.